The following podcast is a W2M Network original production. Visit W2Mnet.com for all of our other great podcasts, plus news, reviews, articles, and opinions from the worlds of wrestling, video games, football, and entertainment.
What's up, everybody? Welcome to episode number 31 of MMA to the Max. I am your host, Robert Taylor, and I am joined, as always, by my co-host, Joseph Hudson, a.k.a. Riverside Joe, that beautiful man-child right there on the screen in front of you. How you doing today, Joe?
I'm doing phenomenal, everybody. Welcome to episode number 31? 32?
31.
31. Oh, that's right. The original. I'm thrown off by the original episode 30 that got scrapped. Great night of fight last night, yeah?
Yeah, and a great night of fights the week before as well. But before we get into that, man, Joe, it's a new week.
Yeah.
It's a new drink. What are you drinking this week?
Got myself a big black butte right there. You see that? What's that? Right
That's the 29th birthday reserve right there, man. That's a special. That's a rare. That's a special release.
And I've saved my virgin tasting of this beer to be on screen. I know how much people like that type of action on screen. So let's go ahead and gauge my reaction to begin with. Cheers, brother.
Cheers. I unfortunately wasn't going to wait for that little setup for my my beer. So, how is it?
It's sweet and fruity. Finishes real smooth. It's got a little tang to it.
So,
I like that.
Just like the men you enjoy. Gotcha.
Oh, see, there it is right there. It's aged in 50% bourbon and rum barrels. That's where that tang is coming in. That's good.
Yeah.
That's good. That's really good. I'm not a big fan of like the bourbon barrel aged kind of shit, but
next step is we just got to get you some proper glassware. So
yeah, the only thing that's cool, granted, this is Stone, but I like to drink my beer out of this because it reminds me of the man that I am. Fizzy yellow beer is for wusses. Just let everybody know.
It's a good point.
So it's a great glass, even though I'm not drinking Stone at this moment. But I may have to have my son go and grab me one after I finish this because I got a fridge full of them always.
And this week I am drinking the Belching Beaver Good Morning Beautiful. It is the third, I believe, maybe fourth collaboration with one of the greatest bands of all time, the Deftones. This is a brown ale with coconut, coffee, and maple syrup. And I'm going to tell you right now, I've been tasting this thing since we started recording, and this is by far one of the best beers I've ever had.
It looks good, nice and dark, just like your shirt. It like blends right in.
No, this is fantastic, man. That maple syrup finish just puts this thing over the top. My God.
Is it nice yet?
Oh,
I can't wait till we get together and do a face-to-face live show again where I can enjoy some of those great beers you're getting from the Total Wine and More, located in Rancho Cucamonga, California, off Baseline Road.
I'm gonna have to hit that. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go down there real soon now and start and buy up all their stock of this stuff before it runs out. Jesus, this is really good. Oh, that is Belching Beaver Good Morning Beautiful. Jesus, what a good beer.
And what a great way to open your day with a Good Morning Beautiful Belching Beaver.
The best part of waking up is Belching Beaver in your cup. But
beaver in your face isn't necessarily a bad thing either.
That's true. That is true. That's a great way to wake up.
I would be upset.
I do have the marshmallow stout from Garage Brewing on standby for when I do run out of this, because I probably will go through this beer real quick. It is really that good.
Oh yeah, was that last week's you had, or did you have that the Phantom episode when you had the?
No, the marshmallow was before the video, but
okay.
I had the cherry chocolate from Garage Brewing before, which I do have another bottle of that as well. But yeah, speaking of, we're talking good beers, we're enjoying some good drinks. since we recorded last episode, man, there's been 2 good fights that have gone down, good events.
2 good fight cards. Both cards were phenomenal.
Especially the main events. Main events completely delivered in my mind of both of them. Even the co-main events delivered in my mind.
Yeah, I agree.
Should we just dive right into the first? Yeah, let's just start in the last week. We recorded Saturday last week. Obviously a day before the UFC Fight Night. Cowboy versus Medeiros. That's Donald Cerrone and Yancy Medeiros in the main event. And yeah, man, a lot of people wrote Donald Cerrone off on this fight, including yours truly.
And yours truly.
Yeah, just was not feeling it anymore, and he was not looking that good at the weigh-ins either. So that kind of, he looked really small, really just like lazy about his training just from the weigh-ins. I thought Medeiros had the power to starch him. Cowboy just hasn't been looking that good, and I have no problem being proven wrong on this one because I am a big Cowboy fan, as it is almost every fight fan in the world, man. But he looked really good, and I don't care about the complaints from other people out there about it maybe being an early stoppage, but
it wasn't.
It was a good stoppage in my mind, and Cowboy showed once again you don't be friendly with him before or after the fight or during the fight. I mean, after the fight, you can, but before and during the fight, do not be Cowboy's friend.
Yeah, I appreciate the show of respect that Yancy Medeiros gave Cowboy, because Cowboy deserves every bit of respect that he got. Going up and giving Cowboy's mom a nice little kiss, respect to Cowboy's grandmother, all the respect in the world, I appreciate it. But yeah, you don't befriend Cowboy. The more friendly and happy he is, the more like a fun little sparring session it is, the more he's going to beat your ass.
Yeah, I mean, it's happened before. Matt Brown did it too, like showed him respect and was cool about everything, and even if that was a war, but I mean, Cowboy just wins these fights for some reason.
Yeah, I think it's when he's comfortable and relaxed. The thing that Nate Diaz did was he made it a dogfight, and he yelled at him and got in his face and got him emotional.
Same thing with Darren Till fight. Darren Till gave him no respect leading up to the fight. He just basically treated him like an over the hill, past his prime fighter. So
yeah, based upon that beard and the leathers, can we start calling him Biker Cerrone? He did, dude. I'm like, okay, I think his last KO knocked something from riding, horses to bikes now. I'm sure he always rode motorcycles, but it's like,
oh yeah, of course he did everything. Guy. I mean, that's just what Cerrone is, man. He's an adrenaline junkie, so that's why Dana White was always on him about doing, stop doing that stuff, man. We don't want to lose you for fights. Cowboy's like, bitch.
Yeah, especially because he'll short notice everything too.
Yeah, exactly. It was a great win for Cowboy. I feel like, do you get this feeling like we're rushing right now? I don't know. Maybe.
I do. Because I want to talk a little bit more about what it was that you saw in Cerrone that you liked. Combinations, was it aggression, footwork, something.
He just
No,
he just looked like the Cerrone of old in this fight. Is the best way I can describe it.
Yeah, his timing, his footwork, his piecing, his combinations. It's when he is comfortable. I guess that's the best way to describe it. He was in there. He's a marathon runner, and he had a straight run with no hills, no ups, no downs. He was just like comfortable. This is easy, and he looked it. Timing was perfect. Precision was spot on. His footwork, getting off the center line. Yancy clipped him with some good punches, but Cerrone does have a decent chin, despite getting the shit rocked out of him by Till. But who is not going to get the shit rocked out of him by Till at 70? Especially when Cerrone's a small 70 and fucking Till is bigger than me.
Yeah. And like we were saying before, I was just, he looked comfortable. That is the key to a Donald Cerrone fight, and that's how you beat Donald Cerrone, is you make him uncomfortable. That's what, that's what Till did. That's what Lawler was doing, even though that was a really close fight.
Yeah.
That's what Dos Anjos did twice. So, and it's one of those reasons, too, why I feel like if that fight with Khabib Nurmagomedov ever would have came to fruition, it would have been just completely one-sided. So, just because, Khabib's the one that makes people feel uncomfortable. So, and the only reason I bring that up is because that people were talking about Cerrone versus Khabib later, and Cerrone could beat him, and I'm like, no, I'm sorry.
No, Cerrone will get taken down, and though he does have, if you look at his stats, he has a lot of submission wins, which would show that he has got great jiu-jitsu, which he does have good jiu-jitsu, but most of his submission wins come off of him rocking somebody, them going in for a sloppy takedown, catching a guillotine, or he rocks them, they go in for a takedown, get him, he wraps them up in a triangle, something when they're already rocked from his punches first. Khabib isn't going to be rocked before he takes Cerrone down. He's going to be clear-headed and powerful and dominant.
And if he is, you're not going to know, that's for sure. He won't let you know.
There's only one guy in the UFC, I think, that has the back game to give any kind of fit to Khabib. And that's Tony Ferguson, which we're going to find out soon enough how that plays out. But he's the only guy that's got the back game. In my mind...
I can't wait to preview that fight. I can't wait till we preview that fight. Ugh.
I can't wait to watch that fight, dude.
If it even happens.
Lord, that it happens.
Yeah, seriously. If it even happens, man. I honestly believe that's that fight. We'll get into that later because it's going to kind of coincide with the topic that I want to talk about. But
yeah.
In the co-main event, though, congratulations, Cerrone. Yeah, the class, by the way, the class shown afterwards, having Medeiros go out there and hug his grandmother and everything, that was awesome to see. You can be warriors and enemies inside the cage, but when you're done, man, you're done.
Yeah, you're done.
Yeah, so
you're done. Shake hands and buy each other a beer. As long as the one was dirty and rotten and whatever, you're good. Yeah.
Yeah, and in the co-main event, Derrick Lewis making his return from retirement. He was scheduled to fight Fabricio Verdum before he pulled out with an injury as part of his return from his 4-month retirement. Taking on Marcin Tybura, who is coming off a very fantastic showing in a losing effort with the aforementioned Fabricio Verdum. And that showing is one of the reasons why I was picking Tybura. And for the first 2 rounds, it was looking like a smart pick because Derrick Lewis was lost on the ground.
He was getting dominated and giving up mount.
Yeah.
He literally, in hindsight, you look at, I think he was giving up mount because he was trying to give up his back so he could bend over and do his little shimmy Jimmy shake or whatever the hell they were calling it. And, shake Marcin Tybura off his back, which he did, and his legs didn't give out, which is all credit in the world to the strength of Derrick Lewis's legs and back. Yeah. And his back was the whole reason why he retired it. He was able to hold them there the whole time. He was being dominated in those first 2 rounds.
Absolutely. I mean,
10-8. 10-8.
Yeah, Tybura was definitely up 2 rounds to none. I mean, that was without question.
Yeah, the second round, in my mind, was a 10-8. First round could have gone that way. So Derrick had to knock him out, and he never – see, that's a warrior. He never gave up. He never was like, fuck, this guy's been dominating. Because in the third round, he got him down too. It's been a while, memory serves. He got him down. I think he shook him off quicker or he was able to scramble up. But he never gave up. He got him in that clinch, and he just threw for the fences. And Marcin took one heavy shot, wobbled him. The second heavy shot, that loop right hook, that just put him down, and it didn't really KO him, but it took the legs off from under him.
And that's that's just been Derrick Lewis's game though for the longest time. Even he may be gassed, but he's always going to have that explosion to be able to finish a fight at any time in the later rounds. I mean, I think he went to the 4th round. Again, I forgot the dude's name, but it was in his only main event, or it could have been the co-main event. I think it was the main event. Russian guy, I forgot his name off the top of my head. But yeah, the jiu-jitsu guy.
Yeah, the sambo guy.
Yeah, and he had mount and he had top control on Derrick Lewis for most of the fight, and then Derrick Lewis he gassed out. Derrick Lewis still found that explosive power, that explosive energy to finish the fight. That's just what he's known for. Unfortunately, I don't think it's going to get him very far in the division. He's talking about Francis Ngannou, and I mean he could definitely out cardio Ngannou, but can he take the shots?
He could beat him. He can beat Ngannou if he can keep him against the cage and Velasquez him, basically. If he can do it. Because one thing Stipe, not to go off too much of a tangent, but one thing Stipe exposed in Francis is he uses his strength and power, lack of technique everywhere.
Yep. Absolutely.
So Derrick Lewis shows that he has got the cardio, so if he can weather the storm and just make Ngannou use strength over technique, get him in the second round, he could put him out. Because I think Stipe hits hard as shit, but I think Derrick hits harder.
Yeah, no, it's very possible. I just think with some of the shots Ngannou took, he has a great chin. I mean, I'm gonna be quite honest. You take Derrick Lewis, you put him in a fight with Curtis Blades. I'm picking Blades all day, every day.
I'm picking Blades against just about anybody.
Yeah, I think Blades is the real deal, and I mean he's still so young and raw too, and at least in the fight game, that he's only going to get better. So. But it was a great win for Derrick Lewis, great return victory and everything. I don't see much happening for him unless he sticks with strikers. I'm going to be honest. I mean, I love the guy. He's a personality. He's a kook. But
Follow his Instagram. He has one of the best Instagrams in MMA, man. It's so funny.
Oh, yeah,
he's a great guy, hero. He's saving all those people from the storm. So yeah, no, he's awesome.
And below that, man, James Vick.
Yes.
Continuing his streak, taking on the always tough Francisco Trinaldo, and basically just doing what everybody thought he would do, and that was just use his height and his reach advantages to just stay on the outside, because you do not want to get caught by one of those bullish haymakers from Trinaldo. And
no,
unfortunately, he did get caught by some of them. The height difference just made it so the power did not translate well enough. But yeah, it's still 4 wins in a row for James Vick, and a very quality victory over a quality opponent. I don't care how old he is.
Oh no, he's one of those perennial contender kind of guys who's always going to be in the mix, a gatekeeper if you want. But yeah, no, Trinaldo is awesome, always fun, always exciting to watch. Again, a guy who always moves forward, even when he's hurt, he stays in there, never gives up on his strength and his power. And Vic hurt him a couple times, but what I like to see out of Vic is his ability to fight differently against different opponents.
I like his ability to fight long.
He was able to use his jab.
Yeah, he's able to fight
That's
long.
It,
a lot of fighters can't do that. Like a lot of the longer, taller fighters, Kendall Grove, were never able to use their height and their reach advantages, and he's able to do that.
Exactly. He can keep you at the end of his jab. He's got good footwork. What people don't understand is in the game of distance management, something I kind of like a little bit in MMA and in fighting, it's footwork. It starts with your footwork. You can have the world's quickest, fast, best, most accurate jab on earth. But if your feet aren't planted in the right spot, if your feet aren't setting up for angles to exit out and keep that space, your distance management is gone. It starts with your feet.
Yeah.
James Vick, good footwork, good head movement, keeping him getting glanced by some of those heavy shots that Trinaldo threw at him. But for the most part, he's not the best footwork guy in the world, but he's the best at using, in recent memory, using his feet to maintain his distance, to do that. I don't know. I like it, though. That's what I'm saying.
Oh, yeah.
I like his footwork.
I mean, think about it this way, man. It puts him at about 9-1 in the UFC alone.
Yes, sir.
5-fight win streak before the Dariush knockout. Now 4-fight win streak. And see, there's the problem though. That Dariush knockout is he's still very susceptible to that overhand.
He is.
That's problem. That's the same issue that Rockhold has and multiple other fighters. And there's another fighter from the UFC Orlando card that is susceptible to it and fights the same way. Alan Joban. That makes it, they have issues with that. And this is something that, I don't know, he's 13-1, man. He's 14 fights into his pro career. It's the same thing with Rockhold. It's something that he's going to have to fix, because although he was able to use his height advantage, I mean, he gets tagged. He could get tagged, man. He's not, Dariush isn't exactly a short dude, and he was able to get in there. So when he gets to the top 10, the higher ranked opponents and the people that have been, that are elite, like we always say, and like Frankie said, there's levels of this shit.
Levels to this shit.
I don't know how well he's going to fare.
Yeah, again, against a guy like Dariush, who isn't technically a super power puncher, but he's a very accurate, very skillful, very well-timed striker. And that's where you start to get from good guys like Trinaldo, who are heavy-handed. Then you get guys like Dariush, who are in the same weighting pool as a guy like Trinaldo. I say weighting pool because it's shallow. There's not a lot of guys that are in that upper mid-tier level. Yeah. So you get guys with great power like Trinaldo. You get guys with great precision, but not a lot of power like Dariush. You start moving up to the next level, you get precision and power. Then you get stamina, and you get all those other things are all adding up. It's not just one or two things. They've got all 3 or 4 aspects to striking or their ground game, like Khabib, who's got everything you could want in a ground game fighter. So we'll see. I think a rematch against Dariush would fare well. I think he could beat him and get that off. I think Kevin Lee's got a fight coming up, but I wouldn't mind seeing him against Kevin Lee.
Yeah, they're talking about Kevin Lee versus Edson Barbosa. That's what they're working on signing.
Yeah, so, which I think is a good fight. Yeah, it's a good fight too. But I wouldn't mind seeing. Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing Vic against Kevin Lee or even Barbosa. I think Barbosa would just be too accurate with those punches and kicks, and he'd get in and hurt Vic. But it was good. Let's see him keep that left hand up, right?
Yeah, right. Speaking of striking, footwork, distance management, all the good stuff. Curtis Millender takes a short notice fight and faces, and ends up absolutely dominating former welterweight title challenger Thiago Alves in a way that I've never seen Alves dominated before, especially on the feet. This was absolutely one-sided, and some can say, wow, Curtis Millender is that good, and some can say that Thiago Alves is just really old in the fight game. I'm going to say both of those are completely true. Curtis Millender is really that good. Alves, he just hasn't evolved with the game, and it might be time to think about, hanging him up.
He goes back to, you have power, precision, timing. He's got power. He's got decent precision. His timing is off. His hooks are a little too looping, things like that that'll mess with your timing. But he doesn't have everything. Curtis Millender has timing, accuracy, footwork, distance management, body work, which we're just now starting to really get seen a lot in MMA. And shout out to Shorty for his body work, getting him that knockout, showing why you do it. Curtis Millender reminded me of a young, faster, because he's smaller, Johnny Bones Jones. Yeah. The way he throws his strikes, the way he was setting it up. But I think he's a better or more seasoned striker than Bones is, obviously. But fuck, dude, I'm so excited to see this kid fight some more. And he's local.
Yes,
right
he
out
is.
of here in
yeah.
Fullerton, California, North Orange County. I think he trains at a gym not too far from where I work. So I'm like, maybe I should take my lunch and sit out there and I can beat him and get an autograph, be a little fanboy.
Right. Yeah, no, he's got a bright future, man. I can't wait to see him get booked.
Yep.
His striking is going to cause people problems. And here's the thing, though. It's not just his striking. I mean, he's got a ground game that people just don't see.
Oh, no, he's got everything. He's a great fighter. From all anything you've heard about him, if you've seen any of his previous fights, the kid is on top of the game with everything.
Yeah, I mean, he did have a run in Bellator that was pretty unsuccessful. He was choked out by Brennan Ward and Fernando Gonzalez.
Yeah.
One guillotine, one rear naked choke. He's improved so much from them. He's now on a 7-fight win streak. It's just,
yep.
I think the sky's the limit for somebody like him. I really do.
Yeah. I think so too. Yeah, I'm excited. Yeah, his Bellator run wasn't all that good, but I think they put him against guys that he wasn't ready for just yet.
Yeah, for sure. Opening up the main card, though, I really wanted to get into this fight a little bit because it kind of brings up a point of scoring in MMA, in a sense. Sage Northcutt defeated Tibal Guti by unanimous decision, 2-1 for all three judges.
Okay.
And when watching the fight live, when I was watching it, I mean, granted, I didn't watch it that Sunday night. I watched it Monday afterwards. I'm not so sure how Sage wins that fight. I mean, I could see it.
It's tough.
I could see them giving it. It's not a robbery. It's a close fight, but I am really. You'd be hard pressed to get me to give a round to the fighter that got dropped.
Yeah.
Which is closest to being finished. And in rounds 1 and 2, Northcutt was dropped.
And he was pinned against the cage the entire time, so he wasn't dictating where the fight takes place.
Exactly. And, I mean, even the third round, not much happened. Everybody said Guti was just laying on him. He still took him down 4 out of 4 times and was, controlling him for the entire fight. I don't think the strikes that Northcutt was landing on him, in the third round were that much more effective to outweigh his grappling that he was doing. The 4 out of 4 takedowns plus top control. I mean, sure, he may have been laying on him, but he was still controlling him. He was dictating where the fight went. And it's not like Sage was throwing up submissions, making him defend, because then Sage would be dictating the fight on the ground.
Yeah, give me 1 second. I got
Hey, you got to do what you got to do, man.
I'll be right back, buddy.
You got to do what you got to do. So, as my co-host takes care of baby and family things, just want to keep going real quick and just keep talking about that. It all depends on when it comes to judges and the way they score. And the way you might score as a fan. I know a lot of people scored that fight for Sage. I'm in complete disagreement with that because of the fact that, like I said, you can... How do you score a round for a fighter that gets dropped? Now, the new rules were not in effect in Austin. They're not in effect in the state of Texas, which I think is just ridiculous. I've said it before on the show. But the judges are still scoring the fight based off of a new judging criteria. Most of the new unified rules is mostly just to take care of the rules in the cage, grounded fight or the extended fingers and everything like that. But most judges, they're not going and changing their judging criteria from state to state. That's staying the way it is. They're gonna judge a fight as a whole, no matter what state, based off of the new criteria. And the new criteria, I have a hard time giving a round to somebody that was dropped. And Northcutt was dropped. Was he completely on his back? Maybe no. But he was dropped to his knees and he immediately was grabbing for a takedown. He was hurt. He was rocked. Guti came closest in rounds 1 and 2 to finishing the fight. It's just I don't know how you can give either of the first 2 rounds to Sage Northcutt. I don't. And even the third round, I'd be hard-pressed to even, it's just the volume of his strikes, they just were not damaging enough to outweigh the grappling of Guti. Granted, it wasn't active grappling, but this is MMA, man. Wrestling and top control has to have as much precedence or as much, equality when it comes to scoring as striking. It really does. Striking and grappling have to be treated the same. They're both part of the same mixed martial arts. I don't know why people are just going to dismiss somebody taking somebody down 4 out of 4 times in one round because he didn't do much with them. So that's just, hey, he's back. That was my solo rant. So,
were you able to carry on without me?
Absolutely, man. I was just going on a little rant about the scoring. No, I wasn't going to just sit here.
Oh,
the show was here, and as soon as you went away, it went up here. So
we don't want to give the fans too much. Keep the expectations low.
Yeah. It was like, okay, the show was cool. Yeah, you guys are doing a good job. Joe left, Robert went on a rant. Holy shit. So
it's a rant that no one's going to ever listen because as soon as I get up, they're just going to fast forward until I sit back down. Phantom rant once again.
Yeah. Baby, all right?
The score for Sage Northcutt, yeah, he's learning how to go potty on his own, and he didn't get his pants down in time and had pee all down his poor little legs, and he doesn't like being wet, and I can't blame him. So
it's okay. Some drunken nights I'm in the same boat, so it's okay.
Right. Mommy's outside doing some gardening and stuff, and normally he's been really good, but I think these pants, because it's cold, he's got long pants on.
Nah, it's fine.
I had to take care of some duties, but thank you for carrying on. And
gotta do what you gotta do, brother. But yeah, I was just saying you could just watch me burp on the screen. Anyways, I was just saying in this rant about the scoring is I'm just hard pressed to give a round. Like I was saying, the new unified rules of mixed martial arts were not in effect in the state of Texas. They haven't adopted them, but judges all across the country, everywhere, are still judging. Their scoring criteria is still being, they're still using it to judge a round. 10-8, 10-9, they're all using it. Most of the new unified rules, anyways, take care of shit inside the cage. The extended fingers is a warning and then a point taken away. The grounded fighter, all that stuff. So I just, like I said, I just find it really hard to score a round for a guy that was dropped and almost finished. Granted, I don't care what happens after he's dropped. That's the closest anybody came to finishing the fight in that fight.
The most significant thing that happened in that fight was him getting touched up like that. And yeah, I agree. Look, I like Sage. Happy to see where he's going, what's going to happen with him, his progression. He had good timing on his entries, on his takedowns.
Oh yeah, his takedowns
but he wasn't able to finish them.
Those were Faber level freaking power double legs straight into side control, man. Those are beautiful.
Really, really good. But towards later in the fight, he wasn't able to finish those because his strength was fading and his technique was off a little bit by driving and turning just fine. Those are the things he's obviously going to get better at working at Team Alpha Male. Some of his entries were a little sloppy. He got carried away, was a little hurt. But all in all, it was good to see him look better. He's getting better. I'm glad he won the fight because I think that helps him in his personal progression up. But it's hard to score around to a guy who got dropped.
I find it hard to score for him. Many in the MMA media also agree and scored that fight 29-28. Guti, which actually a couple of them scored at 30-27. I'm okay with 29-28, but 30-27 is probably, I mean, if you're going to value strikes and grappling as equals, which as they should,
you should be, yes.
Then yeah, I mean, I can see 30-27, but 29-28 at the minimum for Guti should have been that score. I do think there was some home cooking in that one.
100% home cooking, but it was to the advantage of anybody who picked Sage in their Pick'ems league. But yeah.
It's whatever though. I mean, I'm not going to cry robbery.
No, it wasn't a robbery.
A lot of people throw that word around way too fucking much, and that's what And anytime there's a decision they don't agree with, robbery. No, there was no robbery. Diego Sanchez, Ross Pearson is a robbery. So
yeah, you want to see a robbery? Go watch that fight, and then that is your gauge. Yeah. For everything you want to call a robbery. If it isn't that, it's a bad decision. And that's a fucking
and then watch Diego Sanchez's reaction as if he knows he won the fight.
Yeah,
because he really thinks he won the fight. Like he doesn't even act like when Joe Lozon was gifted a decision against Marcin Held. Lozon.
He was like, "Whoa!"
He's like, "No." He even said on the interview, "I didn't win this fight." Diego Sanchez was like,
"Yep.
Yeah,
that's right."
Yeah, I'm like, what the hell?
Yeah, I think that was also in New Mexico, was it not?
Yep.
Yeah, that was beyond home cooking. That was
big time
cooking in your grandma's kitchen right there. But all in all, Sage is looking better. Oh, that's what we want to see.
He's got a lot of
21-year-old kid. Oh, he's got a lot of holes, and I was really surprised. We talk about footwork and distance management. His inability to not let Guti cut him off. Granted, when he'd get against the cage, he could use his quickness and slip out. But Guti was able to pressure him forward a lot and not let Sage get off any of his striking. So he's got to work on his phone booth boxing skills a little bit more, because it's that karate distance. So he's got that naturally, karate distance. His wrestling entries are good. His finishing is getting better. Now let's work on that inside boxing, which you would see a little bit of that here and there. Keep working at alpha male. I think that's the right camp for him for now. I think he keeps moving. And then once he gets the belt, he goes to visits Dwayne, and he stays there.
Yeah, you got to go to Dwayne to get your striking.
You got to go to Dwayne. I would be interested, just curious to see what that would do, a Bang Muay Thai system with a striker like Sage.
Ooh.
It'd be interesting.
Yeah.
He'd lose that focus on wrestling, which I think he badly needs, so that's why he should stay with alpha male, and alpha male striking. Well, I mean,
he can still train his wrestling with TJ and the others that are there.
Sure.
So and even then he could go to Elevation Fight Team, where Curtis
or
Blaze
training
trained
lab
and everything.
TJ's
So
got going down here.
Yeah. So I mean, it's always possible. There's always
that's true. Yeah, if he we're just talking like we know all these camps or whatever, but yeah, if he trained with TJ at training lab down here in Southern California, got Mark Munoz for wrestling, so he's got a good amount of wrestling that he can work with. And again, so that's the great thing that TJ always had, is he had that snake like in and out. That's the way he wrestled, and so his striking translated that way really easily too. That would help Sage. But yeah, all in all, happy to see that kid do well.
Yeah, it was a good show, man. It was a good card. Even the prelims on Fox, 3 finishes, 1 decision, and even the decision. To me, they gave Brandon Davis and Steven Peterson the fight of the night, based off of just the third round, where they were just throwing down. But to me, Lucy Pudilova and Sarah Moras was the fight of the night. I enjoyed the hell out of that fight. That was
the best fight. That was the best fight all the way around. Those girls were going at it.
Yeah,
dude.
They were throwing down, and I hope they got some performance bonuses. Backstage, some
discretionary.
Discretionary slip in the pocket type bonuses, especially Morris. I forgot. I think it's Morris. Sarah Morris.
Morris. Yeah.
Because she was doing damage from guard on top before the ref inexplicably just stood them up, leading to her getting dropped and almost finished in the first round. And
made no sense.
Yeah, it was absolutely ridiculous. And refs are starting to and I forgot his name off the top of my head too now, but he reffed a couple of the fights on the card, but they made a point to notice that to note that he was kind of new to the UFC. But yeah, man, he's got to really go back to the small time shows and ref some more of those, because he almost 100% contributed to the, the outcome of a fight. He really did.
Yeah, he contributed in the wrong way. He didn't stop illegal blows to the back of the head or a glancing knee to a downed opponent or anything like that.
Did you just get lost? Kidding. We're not there yet.
No, I'm just foreshadowing. Yeah, he stepped in when it wasn't necessary. He got himself involved when it wasn't needed, and that's the problem. You don't do that.
Absolutely. That was a horrible stand-up, and in the end, I mean, you never know what could have happened, but in the end, I mean, it went to decision, so that's good. Alex Morono absolutely just outclasses Josh Merkman on the preliminary card on Fight Pass, the main event. Time for Berkman to retire. If there's anybody that needs to retire, it's Berkman. He's like 1-7 in his last 8 fights. He's on like a 5 or 6 fight losing streak.
Yeah, I didn't pick Berkman. I like him. He used to be one of my favorite fighters, but I accidentally picked him by accident, or something happened, and I picked him, and I lost my pick on that. But yeah, Berkman, dude, I don't know what to tell you, man. I don't know what to tell you, because I like you. You got heart. I just hate seeing you get KO'd like that.
Yeah, it's pretty bad.
Sub. He got rocked and
he got dropped and then pulled in a sub. Sounds like you got a lot of motion and activity going down over there, buddy.
Yeah, it is currently nap time, so mommy's grabbing the boys and getting them in nap time, and they're wanting to fight nap time, and hoping daddy comes to save them.
I was going to say, who doesn't want to ever fight the nap time when they're a kid? They may be tired, but it's still playtime, man.
I know. But once you become an adult and someone says, hey, you want to take a nap? Yep, sure.
Yeah, I'm like, yeah, as a matter of fact, I'm going to take a nap now after the show. Maybe. We'll see.
Yeah, you don't have work tomorrow, right? So you're good to take a nap and party all night?
I'm gonna probably, honestly, watch WWE Elimination Chamber after this. Maybe order some more pizza and go from there. I'm actually going to train some of the people, show some of the people how OBS works for the rest of the W2M Net shows. So should be fun. So might mean that I might be on the show, one of the shows. So we'll see.
Oh, you got a busy night. Good for you, man.
Yeah, it could be a busy night. Yeah, but while we're still on the subject, would have been nice to have Derrick Bowe on the show. We advertised him on the show. We were supposed to. Unfortunately, there was a very bad incident where his 30 minutes before we're recording, his Wi-Fi went completely out. His internet went completely out, so he was unable to join. And I'm starting to think that him guesting on this show is turning into the podcast version of Khabib versus Tony.
Oh, no kidding, right? Yeah, it's never going to happen. It just can't happen. The powers that be will not let it be.
Yeah, we had the great show for episode 30, and there was just a malfunction in the recording, so we couldn't post it. And now this episode, internet goes out. It might not ever happen. So
yeah, I think we got to figure out a way to just do it live. My house is kind of in between where both you guys live. Just come meet here. Works out for everybody. And then there's no internet bug.
Maybe talk to Garage Brewing Company about doing a live show at their brewery.
That would be a good idea.
Marshmallow Stout on tap.
All day long. It's going to be a long Uber ride to get back to Corona, though.
Oh, yeah. It'll be an Uber, or we'll have the women drive us and have them just sit way over there away from us while we record. That thought popped in my head right now, so I'm totally down with trying to talk to them about doing it.
Yeah, that'd be fun.
Yeah, and it's in Temecula, and we could talk about Sam Alvey getting on the show. So, that would be cool. So we're moving on real quick, man. Last night,
that fight is done.
Yeah, that fight. We talked about the card. We're moving through this show. I mean, I know you got things to do, family, and
yeah. Yep. But
I'm gonna need more beer to drink.
You are. We got Josh Emmett versus Jeremy Stevens, UFC Fight Night on Big Fox.
Yeah, last night, Saturday.
Oh man,
dude, it was a great show. February 24th, Orlando, Florida. Emmett versus Stevens, dude. I'm gonna be honest with you. The show started off really flat for me. Like, it was just like the preliminary fight cards. Preliminary cards, the fights there on the Fight Pass show, the Fight Pass portion, getting tongue twisted.
Fight Pass prelims.
Yeah, tongue twisted.
Yeah.
They didn't start off too hot for me. I mean, Manny Bermudez, the Bermuda's Triangle, did what I expected him to do just a little bit later.
Yep.
He's really good. He's one of those new age fighters, and they noted it on the show, on the event, that his first martial art was MMA. So,
he never trained in striking or wrestling. He's always been a mixed martial arts. That's his martial art, his base. Yeah, and it showed. Yeah. His ability to change striking to grappling to scrambles to back. Yeah, it's beautiful.
And that's what more fighters are going to end up becoming. That's the evolution of the sport. They're
100%.
all going to be training in MMA. There's not going to be specialists anymore. You might get one or two or a couple here, but for the most part, they're all going to start jumping in and training MMA from the get-go.
Or there'll be a specialist, like someone who wrestled in high school and college, but they're also doing jiu-jitsu in high school and elementary school, or kickboxing as well, or something. They're going to have that bag of tricks going back to their childhood.
Yeah, but the reason I said it was starting out flat, because even though we got a submission finish there, and then we got a submission finish in the Hani Yahya and Russell Doan fight, which, by the way, congratulations to Hani Yahya on that.
That was beautiful,
especially because of his mother just passing. Like
10 days prior.
Days before the fight, which is, I just, my mother passed, so I know the feeling of losing a mom, but still being able to go on and fight after that, like, I couldn't even imagine what kind of feelings he was having in that cage, or just the week leading up to the fight. That's just,
how do you get up and train? Like, the depression, I guess the anger you probably have, you can get it out a little bit, but he went in there and he dominated Doan like nobody's fucking business, dude.
Yeah, but but it wasn't an entertaining fight, is what I'm saying. In that sense.
See, this is where we might disagree a little bit. It was fun jiu-jitsu and passing and scrambling.
It was in the third round, but the first two rounds it was all just Hani. Well, I'm sorry, not Hani. He wants to be known as Ronnie, even though it's pronounced
I
Hani.
noticed that. It's Hani. I'm like, why they keep calling him Ronnie? It's Hani.
No, it is Hani, but he says to call him Ronnie. So, which is so weird.
But he can't even say Ronnie. He says Hani because he's Brazilian. God damn it! But, no, don't call me Hani. Call me Hani.
You know me. You know I love a good jiu-jitsu fight and a good jiu-jitsu match. But for the most part, it was him just controlling one position against Russell Doan until the third round, and that's when things started getting a little more exciting, which then led into the awesome, exciting knockout of Smiling Sam Alvey. Back at 205, underdog going into the fight.
Got it?
Yeah, you got it? Yeah.
Not quite.
And Marcin Prachnio was not a pushover, dude. This guy was a legit, stand-up fighter with legit power.
Oh, yeah. A legitimate striker.
Yeah, legitimate striker, legit
power.
finisher.
For real.
With probably the dumbest fight IQ I've ever seen. Especially, even for a UFC debut, just gets clipped by rushing in with his chin up, and when he gets up, decides for some reason that didn't hurt him, so he's just going to walk towards Alvey with his chin up and his hands down, just saying, "Hit me," and Alvey did.
Yeah,
put him right
out.
Puffed
up his chest real big.
Yeah, it was just
hats off to Sam.
Yeah, great fight, great knockout for not great fight, I should say. Great knockout for Sam Alvey, but I'm not going to lie and say that, like, dude, this guy just pretty much gave him the fight. I mean,
he tried to get in a brawl with a brawler. Like, that's
exactly.
Sam, not to say Sam is technical. He does definitely throw technical precision, good punches, but he got into a brawl with a brawler, and and Marcin is more of a tactician, powerful, strong, tactical type of striker. Hats off to Sam Alvey for getting out there. And Sam's wife, I noticed, on crutches. I hope everything's okay, but she's fucking tough enough to get out there as well, man, and make sure she's in her man's corner, dude. That's cool. I don't know why I love seeing that. I know I've made jokes in the past, just teasing, but I really respect and love the fact that they do that as a unit, man. I think that's really cool. So hats off to the Alveys.
Well, I don't know if Colby Covington would see that as pretty cool, judging by the way he reacted to Mike Perry's girlfriend, fiance being in the corner. But real quick before we get to that, opening up the preliminary card on Fox was the fight of the night, and it was my fight of the night, and then they gave it the fight of the night. Alan Joban and Ben Saunders showing that you can still be friends and train together and get in the cage and throw down. And boy, did they throw down.
Throw down, did they? They both clipped the crap out of each other. It just happened to be that inside leg kick, left hook it wasn't really a combination. The leg kick stumbled and then throwing over the top with that left hook from Joe Bandit hit Saunders. Funny thing, right? Saunders got boom, goes straight down. He's laying there, and his like eyes are rolled back in his head. And my 3-year-old goes, "Did he sing him a lullaby? Go night night?" I'm like, "Yeah, he did. He sung him some chin music."
Yeah, dude, it was nasty.
Saunders.
But unfortunately, one of the things I mentioned earlier is Joe Ban, like Rockhold, has this issue about backing up with his chin straight, like backing straight up with his chin up.
Yeah, you're backing up.
And his lead hand down, which leaves him just completely susceptible to those shots that even Ben Saunders was catching. Gunnar Nelson caught, and other people. Even Mike Perry started getting success on it, as the fight went on in their fight. And I love Joe Ban. I think he's an exciting fighter, a great fighter. I just, he's got a ceiling because of that type of defense. It's the same thing.
Yeah, and I think his original background is Muay Thai. So yeah, he has a striking as his base. He should keep that hand up. He should keep that chin down, and backing up in a straight line, as opposed to backing up at an angle or to feint one way and come back the other. Fun as fuck to watch fight. I think if he can master that issue with it, he's relying on his chin. Right, he got clipped by Sanders, but it didn't knock him out. He's relying on his chin, and if you rely on your chin, you can ask every single fighter that's done that. Eventually, it will give way. Even at one of the greatest light heavyweights of all time, Chuck Liddell, people didn't realize how much he rode on his chin. How many shots he took as he was chasing people down and moving.
He was also,
forward.
spoon-fed striker or wrestlers with no striking, but it's not here nor there. So.
But he did. Yeah, I'm not going to argue that fact, but he still got fucking hit by these wrestlers. And as we've all learned, a lot of wrestlers can really fucking hit hard because their core and their base is so damn strong they can leverage that power. But yeah, anyways.
Yeah.
Joe Ban, hats off, man. Good fight. Keep it up. 2 guys, 10th Planet Jiu-Jitsu over there with Eddie Bravo.
That's right.
Yeah, exactly. Good fight. You can knock each other's head off and be friends before and after the fight.
Eddie, the earth is flat, Bravo.
It is, right? Down on earth makes no sense to me at all.
Exactly. Angela Hill defeats Marina Moros in a very entertaining back-and-forth striking fest, which is really good. But the other women's fight on the preliminary cards, Marion Renault, 40 years old, all 40 years of Marion Renault coming back from the brink of an absolute 10-8 round defeat in the first round with Sarah McMahon.
Almost stopped. If there almost. Talk about 10 seconds more. 10 seconds more, it would have been stopped. She was in the crucifix, and McMahon was just...
Oh, dude, it was just an ass beating in that first round. It was exactly how we both thought the fight would go.
I thought the fight would end that way in the second round.
Yeah. Unfortunately, she caught McMahon, and then McMahon just went into just struggle mode here, just survival the entire time.
Takedown. She went in for a shitty, sloppy, poorly timed, poorly placed, poorly rotated single leg on Renew, who's no slouch on the ground. If you're going to take her down, you got to do it right. And McMahon it was like me trying to take Renew down. Like, what are you doing? It was that just goes to show how rocked she was, because that is so uncharacteristic of her, man.
And the problem is too, she got caught in that triangle, and
she didn't fight it the right way. Hand was still in too.
The hand was still in, but she never even attempted to posture up or try to sit out on her ass. I mean, that's
sit out or stack.
That's triangle defense 101. Posture up or sit out on your ass. I mean, and she didn't even try to do any of those things. She just left her hand there, and then eventually she pulled her own hand out.
Yeah, she pulled it out. It was here instead of trying to get it forward. Yeah. And then I think her right hand was in, and her left hand was here. And instead of trying to push it in, she pulled it out and then brought her own right arm across her face when she needs to bring her right arm this way. You know what I mean? She was allowing her arm. It is everything wrong.
Everything
she didn't
completely
sit back.
Wrong.
She didn't
completely wrong. She
had every chance to stack her because Renault wasn't grabbing a foot or wrapping an ankle. She should have sat up, stacked her, and worked that. Again, I don't know. I wasn't there. I don't know how tight it was. I don't know what kind of squeeze that Renault had. But you don't take this as the thing that's saving your artery, keeping you from getting choked.
It wasn't just a squeeze though. That this is the thing. How she didn't feel it being set up is beyond me.
Yeah,
because it wasn't even tight immediately. It was a good 30 seconds before it was locked on, and it was being.
She reset it twice.
Yeah, it was being slid on, and I'm like, and she did nothing. I don't understand that.
that goes to tell you, because she's good enough to know better. She wasn't there. She was rocked. She was out of it. She was out on her feet.
Yeah, she might have. Yeah, that's got to be. That's got to be the. It's got to be because she was out of it.
Yeah.
In the main event of the preliminary card on Fox was that man
right there.
Right there. Former UFC Bantamweight champion who will never hold that title again.
Because he lost his soul to that man right underneath of him there in that picture. There it is. Right there.
It's because the camera, it's like, it's backwards.
Yeah, you go left and not right. But yeah, TJ Dillashaw now holds Renan Barão's soul in his medicine cabinet.
Might as well call him TJ Shang Tsung fucking Dillashaw right now, man. I was disappointed. That's a hell of a fall from grace, man. Like, former champion and one of the best in the entire world. I mean, he really was. And we can argue USADA, we can argue, whatever it is. The fact is, his entire style and aggressiveness and everything completely changed when TJ beat him.
Yeah, he looked bad in his first win back after TJ beat him when he fought
Mitch Gagnon.
Mitch Gagnon, yeah, I always want to think the Raiders kicker. Mitch Gagnon is like the same fucking name,
Rich
right?
Gannon was the quarterback, you son of a bitch. The kicker was Sebastian Janikowski.
That's right. I don't
Taken
follow
in the
American
first round.
American football is nothing for me except for SC football, and after they graduate, I can give two shits. Yeah, you're right. Mitch Gannon was the quarterback. So, anyways,
Rich Gannon.
Yeah, he didn't even look Rich Gannon. Whatever. Fucking A, the Frenchies. He looked like shit against Gannon, even though he won. He didn't win in his normal style. He took him down and top pressured him the whole time. He's never been back to his former self. He lost to Aljo.
And honestly,
Aljo should beat him, and Aljo beat him.
And honestly, the fight probably should have been stopped in that third round. The ref let the bell do his job. And because Kelleher was out on his feet. Barão was out on his feet.
Yeah.
And honestly, I would not be opposed to UFC just releasing him. He's got nothing left.
He's got a bit of a name for hardcores who are going to want to pay attention and see him. Like I always wanted, but
that's all he has now, though.
Now I think he fights in his country. I think he fights in Brazil. That's where he's going to be the biggest draw still.
I mean, I suppose. Damn.
Where else? I don't know.
I'm out of beer.
I need
to go grab my beer.
All right, you can go grab your beer, and I can talk about this next fight.
Yeah,
talk about
that fight because I mean, Max Griffin was the biggest underdog on the card, and if you didn't know that, you wouldn't guess that from this fight. I'll be right back.
Well, Mike Perry didn't show up. I'm not as good at this as you. Hurry back with your beer. This is the only fight on the card that I really was. I was thinking this would be a first round TKO stoppage for Mike Perry. Max Griffin was the biggest underdog on the card, as Robert had previously mentioned. So you're thinking Mike Perry, with his brawler status, his knockout power, his ability to get in your face and make it nasty and dirty, was going to get inside and get in Max Griffin's face and make it nasty, dirty. He didn't do any of that. He didn't do his normal boxing style. He didn't pressure Max Griffin the right way. I think Ponzinibbio took something from him because he didn't fight the same at all. It wasn't the same Mike Perry. And that's why Max Griffin outstruck him and fucking won the fight.
I don't think that's what it is.
No?
I'm just catching.
Griffin is that good?
I'm just catching the tail end of your commentary on it as I pour my Garage Brewing Company Marshmallow Stout.
Good. Now, my basic rundown was that Mike Perry just was unable to get the fight to his game plan.
Yeah, no. Which here's the thing though, is Mike Perry unfortunately has this issue with fighting long strikers that are able to stay on the outside and not get drawn into a brawl with him. Ponzinibbio, even Alan Jouban, who was able to successfully do it. So Max Griffin fought not really. He didn't use his ability so much. He fought against Perry's abilities and did it perfectly.
That's what you're saying.
Did it perfectly.
He counter-fought Perry.
Absolutely.
He did it perfectly. But I just thought Perry was good enough to better than Griffin enough at this point in Griffin's career to get in there and make it dirty.
Yeah,
but he couldn't.
We all thought he would have, and that's even Vegas, even the bookies thought that. But the problem is, it's just like I've said before, Perry is just not that good. He's entertaining, but he's not that good. He is the Chris Lieben of this era. I mean, that's basically what it is.
Yeah. I get that. I get that. I just thought he was good enough against a guy like Griffin, and nothing against Griffin. I think he's got potential. But I just thought Perry was going to make it his kind of fight. He was going to make it dirty. But then again, you've exposed it. If a guy like Griffin can keep Perry from doing what he wants, then at 170, I don't think anybody
with
in
Mike
the top
Perry, you
50,
just got to stay on the outside. That's it. And Darren Till before the fight posted on Instagram, the picture of when they kind of faced off after Till beat Cerrone, and said that just all you got to do is win this fight, and then you're next. Well, that fight's now off the table. So
even before this fight, I figured Till would piece Perry up. And after this fight, Till would be toying with him like a puppy dog. And
hey, maybe Perry just threw the fight because he didn't really want to fight him. And I wouldn't blame him. I wouldn't blame him. Darren Till's a beast. So
who wants to fight Till? Apparently nobody. That's why he can't get a fight.
Yeah, right.
Oh man, I can really taste the rum in that last drink. Or the bourbon.
It was a great fight, and a lot of people are upset, saying that a lot of people online are saying that Max Griffin ran from Mike Perry just because he stayed on the outside, circled in, and used his jab and everything. But they completely ignore the fact that he beat the dog shit out of him while staying on the outside.
Yeah, he stayed on the outside, and every time Perry walked with his face within range, he popped him. Yeah. But Perry couldn't push past that initial jab.
He almost finished him. Absolutely almost finished him. I mean, there's an argument that both round 1 and round 2, because of how one-sided they were, even in the striking game, were 10-8s. Granted, they gave the second round a 10-8, which rightly so. And like I was trying to tell everybody before, like we mentioned before, the new rules, are in effect here, in Orlando. But judges are, regardless if they're in effect or not, the judges are still scoring all the fights the same. And that's a 10-8 because he came close to finishing the fight, and that's how you score a 10-8, especially under the new rules. So,
yeah, Perry's just like you say. He's the fun guy to watch, exciting.
Mm-hmm. He'll never crack top 10 or be a contender.
The Chris Lieben of the division, modern same division, Chris Lieben of this era. So
that's
we know where to put him. Brawlers, he beats brawlers, but he does not beat anybody who's got a good jab.
Or he'll beat lightweights, stepping in on 2 days' notice.
Yeah, I know. Dude, that guy was brave because Perry is a hard-hitting son of a bitch.
Victorville, California's own Alex Reyes.
Whoop, whoop.
Anyways, light heavyweight, though, Alir Latifi just pulls a John Jones on Lyoto Machida with Oven St. Preux, choked out.
High elbow.
Like we were talking about earlier with Sarah Mann and her submission defense, man. Like, where was OSP's defense on that guillotine? He didn't even try to sneak a hand in or try to fight the choke. He didn't try to fight the hands at all.
And where was the referee watching Ovid St. Preux tap before he passed the fuck out?
To be fair, the ref was on the other side, though.
Yeah, I know, but you don't want to be on that side. You got to be at a distance so you can see both the hands, because this hand is fighting and this hand was a tap. But again, and OSP doesn't have. I didn't see in my mind him being rocked really bad beforehand.
No,
he just kind of got bull rushed. And
he tried to fight tall. He tried to fight tall, and he tried to fight long against a fighter who is known to be able to get on the inside.
Yeah, he can get in on you, and he did. He got some good shots in on OSP. He beat him. I picked Latifi. I had faith in him. I thought he was going to get inside and wrestle OSP. OSP's got good takedown defense, but I thought it was going to be dirty boxing inside, take him down, hold him down, get him up. You know what I mean? Kind of a wrestle match. But, yeah, I think I was the only one that picked Latifi that I know in our league. But
do you want to just keep tooting your horn right now, or what? I mean, just...
Oh, what? No, I'm not saying anything. Like
I said before, man, act like you've been here before, but then we got to remember you haven't.
I haven't. This has been the worst year of my pick'ems ever. Everything. So I just kind of, I don't want to say I went against my normal judgment. I just dug a little bit deeper, thought about it a little bit more, took my own bias out of it, what I think is best, and went with the opposite or something. I don't know. I had a good fight card from you. But anyways, Latifi looked great. Not enough about me. Latifi looked good.
He called out DC. He's not getting that fight, obviously.
That was That was really cute.
It was it was adorable, but he's not getting that fight. And even DC said, "I don't know."
Yeah, all due respect. As a slight transition here, Latifi will look like Tisha Torres did against Andrade, picked up and dropped, over the head and dropped, over the head and dropped.
Yeah,
that's what happened.
Unless your name is John Jones, and even if your name is John Jones, unless you are John Jones,
yeah,
you're not beating Cormier. It's just not happening.
He is the greatest fighter other than John Jones. Unfortunately, they happen to exist at the same time.
Exactly. If it wasn't for John Jones, Daniel Cormier would be the greatest light heavyweight fighter of all time. That's just fact. It's indisputable fact.
Take your hands, put them down. Hands down.
Hands down, that's right. In the co-main event of the show, basically a number one contender fight for the winner of the rematch between Rose and Joanna. Jessica Andrade, who's coming off an absolute dismantling of Claudia Gadelha, which surprised a lot of people.
Piss out of me.
Because
wow, did she dismantle
Gadelha had only lost at that point to Joanna and looked good in both fights. Arguably should have won the first fight. But she was absolutely manhandled like she's never been by Jessica Andrade. Defeating Tisha Torres, whose only loss in her career was a very controversial and contentious loss to the current champ, Rose Namajunas, in their rematch. Honestly, scored for Tisha Torres in that fight. A lot of MMA media scored it for Tisha Torres. Was not a robbery, as we, alluded to.
I had Rose. It was close, but I had Rose.
I mean, I could see it going to Rose. I don't think she won. But, either way, man, Tisha Torres just coming off of her first finish ever. Looking good. And absolutely manhandled by Jessica Andrade after the first round. First round was close, and it was good. It was entertaining. After that, it was absolutely woman-handled, I should say.
Yeah, woman-handled and slammed and just beat up. It was mostly a wrestling match with Andrade dominating all the takedowns, all the transitions, holding her down, getting in some ground and pound. Literally, Tisha Torres at one point tried to jump over Andrade to get away, and she grabbed her and slammed her back down. And
that is a scary woman, dude. That is a scary woman. Andrade is a beast, and I could see her absolutely manhandling Rose if Rose gets past Joanna.
I was super impressed with her stamina and her cardio. Andrade did not lose a single beat.
That's one of the things she had, too, when she fought for the title with Joanna, is she was able to go all 5 rounds, still just coming forward and swinging and throwing down. So I'm so excited. I don't know if I want to see her and Joanna go at it again, but I mean, I'd be okay with it.
I want to see her and Rose go at it.
Yeah, I want to see her and Rose. If Rose beats Joanna, I want to see that
which
fight.
I think she will.
Which it's very possible. I'm 60-40 right now on that. But Andrade,
if Rose
Andrade is a marketing dream for the women's strawweight division. She may not be able to speak really good English or English at all, but she's a bulldozer, man. She's a bulldog of a woman, and she has never had a boring fight. And that's something that's gonna, that's something that's gonna draw casual fans and people to her when they see this bulldozer of a woman that weighs 115 pounds. Just slamming people, throwing them down, just absolutely just comes forward at all times. Everybody says we don't want to see people run. Well, here you go. Here's somebody that doesn't run.
She runs right at you.
Yeah, right at you. Yeah, that's the only time she
runs.
Right
at you.
So
yeah, I think that she is going to get Rose. I believe that Rose is going to beat Joanna again. I believe that some people just have other people's numbers. I believe that Shevchenko will have Joanna's number, and as long as Rose's number one training partner is Shevchenko, she's going to have Joanna's number. That's just my gut, my thought, my past is prologue kind of thing. But Andrade versus Rose is a whole nother animal. That is a fight for the ages. That is a fight.
I can't wait.
That's a pay-per-view main event in my mind.
Yeah, I hope it happens.
That's a main event. Yeah, I know the only woman they put on as a main event for pay-per-view is Cyborg, but I tell you what, Rose versus Andrade, that is a main event fight. You can sell those two women, dude. It's fucking...
Oh, yeah.
The Bulldog versus the Unbreakable. Just, ooh, that's how you do it.
Well, in the main event, speaking of main events, Jeremy Stephens, I know we were waiting to get on this, defeating former guest of the show, Mr. Josh Emmett of Team Alpha Male, by complete knockout in the second round.
Yeah.
First round
knockout,
was really good. Emmett was looking really good. Even dropped Jeremy Stephens as Stephens came in with his chin up, hands down. Like I'm just noticing a theme with a lot of people that get dropped lately. Wasn't able to finish because, come on, let's be honest. How many times have you seen Jeremy Stephens get finished? Because I'm
45.
I mean, just period in general. He just
Especially
it doesn't happen. He doesn't. At least he doesn't get. I mean, he may get tapped out, but he doesn't get slept. He does not get knocked out. And so there's some people that were like, I can't wait till Emmett sleeps him, and it's like, bro, like I like Emmett, and I wanted Emmett to win this fight, but sleep, Jeremy Stephens, come on.
He just doesn't get slept. He doesn't get dropped and rocked like that. He sure shit doesn't.
It was a good shot. It was a perfect shot. Second round comes on.
Emmett was gonna.
Second round. I was just trying to get to the controversy, the finish here. The second round comes along. Emmett overcommits, and then looks like he was just trying. It looked like he was just trying a little too hard to land that hook. That kind of that dropped Ricardo Lamas, and then also the counter hook that he caught on Stephens, and Stephens came in to drop him. He got a little too relaxed, and
Stevens of his own success.
Exactly, and Stephens caught him and dropped him. And here's where the controversy, which I personally don't think there's much controversy.
Controversy. We need a little dancing logo. Controversy.
That's why I was hoping Derrick Bowe would be here, so the three of us would be, we'd have a tiebreaker here. Which I know his reaction, his opinions on it. He would have been on your side,
of course, because it's the right side. Derrick Bowe and I are logically minded, sophisticated gentlemen.
So let's start first with the elbows, the quote unquote illegal elbows. Jeremy Stephens, Jeremy Stephens, I have still shots. I implore you to rewatch it, and I will send you the still shots. I wish I should have added them to the overlay that everybody's looking at right now on YouTube.
What have you been doing? You don't have to work tomorrow. Add it to the overlay. Do some fantastic work here.
I probably should have. But there was 4 elbows thrown. Okay? The first one, completely clean. The second one, completely clean. The third one, 100% clean. The third one was behind the ear. Here. When everybody, the rule back of the head rule is this little strip. It's a strip.
You got that little bump right there on the back of your head.
That's it.
It's from about 2 or 3 inches above that, where your crown comes over down to your spine,
and all the way down your spine. And
the right here behind the ear was good. The fourth one was literally on that bump.
The fourth one, so the third one was good. Yeah, the third one's legal because that was right behind the ear.
Close.
The fourth one
the tip of the elbow was close. But
the fourth one was to the back of the head. But here's why it wasn't illegal.
He was scrambling.
Exactly. He was scrambling. It happened in the scramble. That is under the rules. That is not. You cannot. That is not an infraction. He was scrambling. Now, as I make my argument for that, because I think I got you on my side on that, saying okay, maybe.
That was an illegal elbow. All right, we agree. Illegal elbow. Next point of contention. Controversy.
The knee that didn't land.
Whoa. There was an extra knee on the grassy knoll. I saw the smoke. It was there. And last night we're up tweeting, I'm texting you, I'm hitting up everybody on our Facebook page. That mother effer with that illegal knee. God damn it, that should have been stopped. I was screaming during the fight, illegal knee. Just like, on fire. Watch the replay again. The thrust of the knee, the first knee missed, but he came back down and hit him with the top of his knee, the bottom of his patella.
Is completely unintentional.
Illegal.
Unintentional.
It's still a knee, the back of the head. So the main thrust, the main power of the knee, the top of the knee missed, but he came back down and hit him with that bottom part of the knee. was like a spinning back fist, right? You hit him with the back, you hit him with the back of his knee.
I mean,
2 illegal blows in a row.
Well, look at it this way: John Jones has gotten away with a lot of spinning back elbows that end up landing on people in the back of people's heads, but it's completely inadvertent. Stephen Bonner and comes to mind that fight with John Jones.
How you're taking Stephen Bonner's side? You're Bonner.
I'm saying they're inadvertent. All right, there's no so the knee went up, the shot, the comeback is not part of the shot. That's not part of the shot thrown. That's the comeback, man.
You still hit the head of a ground. Your knee cannot touch the head.
Let's just say let's say it's a legal shot, right? Did it contribute to the finish? Absolutely not.
It had absolutely everything to do with that goddamn finish.
Come on. You know damn well you're full of it there, man. You're just trying to troll me. There's no way.
No,
I'm sorry. There's no way that contributed.
He had less to do with it. The illegal elbow, to me, had more to do with it than the knee. Had the knee hit on the upswing, that would be the crux of my argument. I don't see
elbows, knees, whatever or not. I see Josh Emmett scrambling like he was and still ending up on his back from the shot that did land as he was trying to remember, when he started to get up, he did get caught with another one that put him on his back before Jeremy Stevens drove in the elbow that broke his orbital bone. So
in 3 places.
Yeah, 3 places.
No, I agree with you. That elbow was illegal, and I think it contributed to Josh Emmett's inability to scramble up and see straight. The knee missed. Had that knee hit, it should have been a DQ.
It would have totally been a DQ. Yeah.
And look, Stevens is not a dirty fighter. Don't get me wrong. I'm not talking about him like I talk about Paul Harris or I talk about Yoel Romero. Okay, I don't believe Stevens is a dirty fighter. I don't believe he tries to cheat the rules. I don't believe he's one of those guys at all. I have nothing but respect for Jeremy Stevens, and he is a valid warrior, and he deserved to win that fight. Okay, so this argument has nothing to do with him as a person, as a fighter, as a show. Nothing. I'm happy that he won. He's a great guy from all that I read on him. That elbow was illegal, but I understand it. That knee that he threw was in the heat of battle, and I understand that. But it was 100% completely against the rules to even throw that knee.
Well, from what he said, like Dan Murgliata in the back said that, hey, you just got to have one hand up, and he did. And here's the thing, though, and I actually got kind of misguided. I got kind of misguided on the rules because when he did throw the knee, he only had one knee down. If you look at the replay when he was getting up, he did. Emmett made a cardinal mistake for getting back to your feet. He rolled on his ankles to his feet first, not his knees first, his feet first. He had one knee down, the other knee was up. Granted, still illegal. I don't agree that it should be illegal. In my mind, I think the rules should be changed because if you're getting up, in the process of getting up, you should actually be able to get kneed in the face. But that's not what the rules are.
Whether you agree with what the rule is or is, that's beside the point, right?
But he didn't land the knee. It maybe sliced great, possibly, but did it contribute to the outcome of the finish? Absolutely not to me, and I think that's why Murgliata let it go. He saw it kind of slide.
I think Murgliata saw that it missed.
Yeah, and I mean, I like Emmett. I was rooting for Emmett. I wanted Emmett to win that fight. Sure. But
absolutely,
I got to be fair here, man. I don't think that any of the shots, even the knee, I mean, obviously it landed flush, game over, but none of that contributed to the finish. The finish happened when Emmett was scrambling up and got caught again on the chin, went backwards, and then Stevens dove in with the 2 elbows. The first one put him out. The second one was a Henderson Bisping type elbow. So
correct. No, I understand that. And again, it's not against Jeremy Stevens. He's a valid. I don't know what the word I'm looking for here is. Valor is what I was trying to say. Whatever that adjective is. He's a good guy. He's a great guy.
Yeah, he's honorable.
He was in the heat of battle. He's an honorable man. He would never ever purposely do something. But your argument to say, well, it may have been illegal, but did it contribute to the ending of the fight? That's like me saying, I clip somebody, they get rocked, I step on their dick, jump in the air, hit them with an elbow. Me stepping on their dick wasn't what ended the fight, but it sure shit was fucking illegal. You can't step on dicks, right? So I get the point in your argument there.
I don't see the elbow being illegal. I don't see. I still don't think the elbow was illegal. I don't think the elbow was illegal because he was in the moment of scrambling. He was scrambling. He turned his head. Emmett turned his own head Jeremy Stevens didn't cause it. Emmett turned his own head
Fair enough.
in the middle of the throw. Now the knee, if the knee landed flush or landed,
illegal,
then it would completely illegal if it landed. I don't think it landed. On the replays, I don't think it landed. When it comes back and hits the back of his head, that doesn't count as a shot throw in my mind. It really does. I'm sorry. That's just me.
Okay. I want to just for argument's sake concede that point, even though I don't completely agree with you, but I'm going to concede it. But I'm going to boil it down to this: the elbow was illegal, and that's it. Just like an eye poke is illegal, unintentional or intentional, accidental. The elbow to the back of the head was an illegal blow. He should not be hit in the back of the head. That part of your head is like a cup kick.
On a side note, I totally forgot to hit the hotkey to switch the what we were talking about. Over. By the way, everybody, now we're talking about Emmett versus Stevens finally.
Look at the little logo over here. Is it over here or is it over here? It's
over there.
It's over here.
Yeah. But your finger's right so close to the camera. Jesus. It's better. Well, you're on the right side of the overlay. I'm over here, so you're just pointing at me. So, hey.
Gotcha. But anyways, okay, so when people are in the heat of battle and someone goes to throw a kick and someone faints like they're going to shoot and they get kicked in the dick, it's not intentional. You don't take a point away from the fighter who did the kick, but you stop the fight there. Whoa, that blow was unintentionally illegal. Stop the fight here. Allow the opponent to recover.
Which is fine if he actually would have hit him.
The blow that Jeremy threw with the elbow to the back of the head was unintentional due to Emmett moving. Now, again, Jeremy would not throw that to the back of his head on purpose. He's not a dirty fighter. But Emmett got hit in the back of the head illegally doing movement. Stop the fight.
Yeah,
allow Jeremy.
But see, the difference is
see,
okay. So the comparison you're using, and what I'm trying to say is the difference is I'm about to stand up and go full on Monty on the camera. Not full Monty. I'm just kidding. But
please don't scare us.
The difference, what I'm trying to convey here on this is that him throwing the elbow and Emmett in mid scramble turning and the elbow catching the back of the head, is if you threw a kick and I just went like, hey, like that, and you kick me in the dick.
No.
That's what it is. That's basically what it is.
You're feinting in for a shot. You're moving. It's in the heat of the battle. You can't imply intention on Joshua. Like, an elbow's coming back of the head. You can't imply his intention. Joshua was trying to scramble and get up in the heat of a battle, just like Jeremy was throwing an elbow in the heat of battle. Just like when you're going to throw an inside leg kick and somebody goes to shoot and they kneel down, you hit them in the dick. Completely unintentional.
Let's also not compare a shot to the back of the head to getting kicked in the fucking dick. So, I mean, which has been scientifically proven to be more painful than giving birth. And I mean, we've seen people give birth. I mean, you have kids of your own.
I've witnessed it twice.
Yeah. Yes, so, and I've witnessed before. Fuck that. No, I'm so glad I'm not a woman.
No shit, dude. The most beautiful thing on earth, but during that whole moment, it's kind of...
Hell no.
It's beautiful. And you get to hold them little gooey creatures on your chest and just love them forever.
Women being like, you don't know what pain is. I've tried carrying a child for 9 months and giving birth. Do you have a dick? No? Then shut up.
Short story, worst thing that ever happened to me was when I was my sophomore year of football. I was trying to play with the varsity guys, be tough. I'll try to take on our fullback. I think it was like probably 200 pounds, 5'9", little fucking bowling ball dude. Mike was his name. I try to charge up the middle, playing strong safety, and hit him. He cracks me. I fall down. He literally runs me over and just steps on my dick. And I didn't wear a cup in football. You can't move or run. I just wore a jock strap,
What the hell's wrong with
I
you?
was laying on the ground for what felt like forever, but it was at least 15, 20 minutes. They had to remove the line of scrimmage because I could not get up. So yes, getting kicked to the dick is very, very, very painful.
Most painful experience in the world.
It's not. I'm not comparing the amount of pain. I'm comparing what is legal and illegal.
Well,
and how
I was comparing the type of foul. I was comparing the type of foul. So.
Well, there isn't an A type or B type foul in the rules. A foul is a foul. A back of the head shot is an illegal blow. A kick to the dick is an illegal blow. There's no scale here. There's no scale. If there was a scale,
okay. Let's just take what you're saying. Let's just take what you're saying. Okay, and we'll apply it here. Okay, how about this then? The difference is is if he would have stopped the fight for an unintentional illegal blow that was caused by the fighter taking the blow, turning into it, and receiving the blow, he would directly be contributing to the outcome of the fight. The fact is, hold on.
The fighters would be directly contributing.
No, the fact is if Murgliata would have stopped that fight for that blow, it would completely negate everything that happened before that blow, which would be completely unfair to Jeremy Stephens. Now, I get it. Yeah, okay, maybe if he would have stopped that because of an unintentional legal blow that was caused by Josh Emmett turning and trying to scramble and getting caught, you're rewarding the fighter that was hurt. You're rewarding them. I mean, think about that.
I agree. I completely agree with you. You're rewarding the fighter that was hurt. But the rules don't say, hey, look, if the fighter that's hurt gets a foul, let it go. No, the fighter that, look, both men were in the heat of battle, scrambling and moving. Nobody intentionally gave up the back of their head for an elbow. Nobody intentionally hit anyone in the back of the head for the elbow. Emmett was hit in the back of the head with an unintentional illegal blow. No points should be taken away from Jeremy Stephens. He should not lose a point for that. Josh Emmett should also not lose the fight for that. Whether that was the direct cause for the loss of the fight, I'm going to go ahead and say no. That illegal blow wasn't the direct cause for the loss of that fight. But not being Josh Emmett, not knowing how dizzy he was before or after that, but I'm going to assume it wasn't. Probably wasn't. The way the rules go, Murgliata should have saw the illegal blow, stopped the fight, stopped it. Sir, you received an illegal blow. Are you okay? Do you have a chance to recover? Because only a kick to the dick do you get 5 minutes. You don't get 5 minutes for an eye poke or an illegal hit to the back of the head. That's the difference between these rules, is only a kick to the dick gets you 5 minutes. Are you okay to continue? Mr. Emmett, please stand up. Are you wobbly? Can you continue? And if he says yeah, then he's still all fucked up and he gets clipped again and dropped and wins. Or he goes, no, I can't, then fuck, it's a no contest, and that sucks for everybody. But that's, in my mind, playing devil's advocate, Sunday morning quarterback.
Okay, so all right, so here's something that the fan and listener and people that know us probably won't hear for a while, or maybe ever again. Yeah, you got a point. It's a fair point.
Dude, if it wasn't for my $2,000 laptop being in front of me, there would have been a spit take right there. What?
It's possible. What was this? Okay, it's a fair point.
Vanessa needs to record this show and just keep that on her phone, so every time you argue, she can hit that.
She's at work.
Oh, good thing.
So, no, it's okay. I can see that. That's fair.
That's my only. Again,
I don't completely agree with it. I don't completely agree with it, but I think the way the fight ended and the way the outcome, that what happened, the way it happened, everything was how it should have been.
Yeah. I mean, I agree.
Unless that knee would have absolutely just with the Emmett's head or something like that.
Had the illegally thrown knee landed, then yes.
Yeah, I mean
that would have been a game changer.
But what you're saying as well is absolutely fair. It's an absolutely fair point, and I can concede that if that would have happened, I would be okay as well.
Yeah, it might be like a little iffy. I'll give you maybe a little
echo
iffy
on my end lately. Like every time I start talking a little, like, hey, it's not there. It's fucking so weird, man. It's so off. I haven't quite got the system down.
When both of us start talking, we're both getting animated and loud. I think our mics.
Yeah. It's possible. It's possible. It's better.
Ice Cream Man?
Yeah, the Ice Cream Man's driving up and down the street right now.
Fred Flintstone little push pop thing.
40 degrees outside, and they're just driving up and down the street. Gotta admire the hustle.
Hey, man, gotta pay them bills, dog. Gotta pay them bills. Kids like sugar, whether it's hot or cold, any time of day, any season.
Kidding, right? So I'm not going to forget to hit this button now. Let's move on. Congratulations. By the way, real quick, Jeremy Stephens.
Oh, who won this week's event in the UFC Pick'em fight that we were just talking about? Who was the big winner?
For the first time in at least this year, and I don't know how long.
That's my shout out to you, Sam.
You won. Congratulations, Joe. Yay.
Thanks.
Congratulations to Aaron Smith for last week winning UFC Austin, Cerrone versus Medeiros. So I think we got everybody covered. Last episode we covered Doug and the Toochers. So
good job, Doug Fishers. Yeah.
Moving on, dude. Real quick, about to hit this in the thing.
Okay. Are we going to talk about? We're going to go backwards or forwards on this one, from prelim up or top down?
Boom.
Where are we going? Top down.
You see how I worked that? See how I worked that? Let's just talk.
Yes,
let's just talk about a couple of fights real quick. Let's just talk about we got CB Dalloway coming back from his fight with the elevator.
Back. Yeah, what's that? I heard that he's got like lifelong serious back problems.
That's what he says, but he's still fighting, so I don't get it. Whatever.
Well, I do because the motherfucker's still got to pay bills, and he's a fighter by trade. How does he pay his bills?
That's true.
Which sucks.
Which unfortunately for him, though,
if he loses this fight, I lost the fight because of this injury. He could use that as other issues.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe. I don't know.
I only mentioned that just because to make the elevator joke, but I do think Hector Lombard puts him to sleep. I really do.
Yeah.
So, but in the main event,
the
return of the only person at the 145-pound division in the UFC that matters, because she is the only person in the UFC 145-pound division. Chris Cyborg, the women's featherweight champion, coming off in my mind, fantastic showing against Holly Holm.
Yeah.
Because
that
she showed
MMA
a patient, technical, just absolutely just... patient is just the way I could, like, that's not how you see Cyborg. It's just patient.
No,
uncharacteristic performance against Holly Holm, who to me was the biggest threat to her style-wise.
In MMA history, yeah.
Yeah, in MMA, just because of her style.
Yep.
Taking on the Invicta Bantamweight champion, Yana Kunitskaya. I think I got that right, pretty sure. Just another Bantamweight stepping up. Now, to be fair to this fight, this was a short notice thrown together fight. It absolutely does count in this instance because this was supposed to be Max Holloway versus Frankie Edgar, the second try before Max Holloway pulled out for the first time in his entire career.
Yeah, no, nothing against that. I understand that it was a short notice scramble, and Kunitskaya.
And you know what? Hey, mad respect for Cyborg for stepping up on short notice to take this fight. Even though she's a featherweight fighter, it's not a hard. It is not a hard or an easy weight cut for her. Even to 145.
She was promised a super fight with Nunez too.
Yeah,
and she
that's
took
what they were
this
talking
fight
about.
in lieu of that. So again,
which now leads to Nunez defending against Raquel Pennington pretty soon. So,
which should be a fun fight, but I picked Nunez to TKO her in the third round. But it should be fun for the first minute and a half. I am sick and fucking tired of watching Cyborg beat up bloated bantamweights. I'm fucking done with it. She is a phenomenal fighter. She deserves to fight. But there's fucking 145-pound women who've been fighting at 145 pounds that can go against her. Throwing her the best bantamweight at Invicta isn't doing her any favors. They threw the second best bantamweight in the UFC at her in Holly Holm. She fucking beat Holly Holm. Not soundly, but she beat her soundly. Like, she didn't beat her breaks off, but she beat her clearly.
It was clearly
beat Holly
a decision.
Clearly beat her in a decision. She's going to take Kunitskaya.
Kunitskaya.
She's going to whip Kunitskaya. I was like,
why do you keep saying Kunitskaya? I feel like you're trying to say Kunta Kinte. I'm like, I know it's February still, man, but come on.
And the thing is, like, when I said it that way, Kunta Kinte came to mind, and I'm like, I'm going to make the most inappropriate fucking analogy about how bad Cyborg whip her ass, and I had to stop myself. That was like my brain went diarrhea, and I caught it just before it came out.
I'm glad you caught it. Yeah.
But anyways, she's beating up another bloated bantamweight, and I don't want to see it anymore.
Oh, I do. I absolutely do. I am
you get in the fight.
So
you can pay for it. Your house and watch it.
Well, we'll see what happens with my work schedule when it comes up. When after my training for my new position, promotion. But I'm totally down, man. Anytime Cyborg's fighting, I'm down. I love this woman. I love watching her fight. I don't care about the controversy with her shit. Watching this woman do her ballet of violence is a thrill to me. It really is. It really is a thrill to me. So I'm absolutely down for seeing this fight just because it's Cyborg. You could put Cyborg versus a fucking folding chair, and I'm going to watch because it's Cyborg.
Sure, I'll watch her fight the first 6 folding chairs, but after that I'm done watching her fight folding chairs.
Well, that's where we're going to differ. So
she's fought every single broomstick on the planet.
Well, then let's just move on to the co-main event then. because I know that's a fight everybody wants to see. Now,
okay, ready?
I would pay.
Ready?
Hey, there we go. There we go. We got the little one on screen. How you doing, brother?
Guy. Here, Asen. Say hi.
Say hi to all them MMA Max listeners.
Say hi, MMA fans. Say hi, MMA fans. Oh, he's being shy guy right now.
Did he wake up from his nap, or he just didn't do it?
No, he didn't do it. The 2-year-old is napping, and the 3-year-old is running around with his big brother. And his big brother, the 13-year-old, is being a good big brother. But little guy,
good for him. Good for him.
Yeah, Aiden's he's a good kid.
In the co-main event, then, man, Frankie Edgar not deciding to just wait, just like for Max Holloway took a short notice fight with Aldo when Frankie had to pull out in December.
Yep.
Edgar decides to do the same thing. Little bit of a showmanship in my mind, saying, "Hey, you can do it. I can do it too, bro."
I don't think that's what it is. I think it's Frankie Edgar missed the fight that he was supposed to have. He's got 2 camps that he's paid for under his belt. Oh. He needs to scratch. He doesn't have the time.
I don't think Frankie's worried about money at this point in his career.
Maybe not, but maybe it's the effort and energy he put into it. But in my mind, I'm looking at it like I don't think that was the right call for Frankie to fight Ortega.
So I was going to say, he's taking on Brian Ortega, who steps in on short notice. Well, no, it's not that. Well, it is short notice because it wasn't the originally scheduled fight. But Ortega steps in, and this fight is intriguing.
It is, and I love Edgar, and I wanted him to fight Holloway. I wanted him to fight for that 45-pound belt against Holloway so bad. I don't think Ortega's going to let him do it. I'm on the fence on this one. I'm really, really on the fence on this one.
Whoa. All right, so here's the thing, man, that I've learned in all my years of watching MMA. Don't
count Frankie Edgar out.
You do not bet against Frankie Edgar, and especially when it comes to an up and comer. You do not bet against Frankie. There are levels to this shit, homie.
There is, but Ortega's jiu-jitsu and ground game has got some levels that nobody else at featherweight can even touch, brother. His jiu-jitsu is better than any other featherweight in all of MMA.
Frankie Edgar's top game is better than everybody in the featherweight division, and his top game, and let's be honest here, Ortega's going to be on his back. That's not even a question.
And T-City, bro.
Yeah,
T-City.
Well, even then, standing up, if they stood up, Frankie Edgar, this is not Cub Swanson with his looping hooks to try to he's waiting looping hooks to try to get a finish early, which is what Cub Swanson was doing. This is Frankie Edgar with the best boxing in the featherweight division, possibly in the entire UFC. And so this is going to be a ground game because Frankie Edgar's going to absolutely piece him up, put him on the ground.
Frankie's not taking him to the ground.
No, Frankie's taking him to the ground, and Frankie's top game is ground and pound, and his ability to stay long when on top and away from the submissions is absolutely 100% elite. And Ortega does not submit him. I think Frankie TKOs him in the second round.
You think he's going to He's going to get on top of him. He's going to ground and pound him out in the second round.
Yep, absolutely.
Okay, I know how much you love the top pressure in ground game, a la Khabib versus Ferguson. And I'm telling you, I'm worried that Ferguson's going to lose to a guy like Khabib who's got his top game and his ground pressure, even though I love Ferguson's back game.
Yeah.
There's nobody in all of MMA with a better back game than T-City. There's nobody. There's very few people in all of jiu-jitsu who have a back game like, I'm going to keep calling him T-City to prove my point. His triangles come off your back 99% of the time. I don't want Frankie Edgar to take T-City to the ground. I want him to use his boxing and his footwork and his speed to stay on the inside, outside, and piece him up that way and win a clear decision. Because if he gets cocky, because Ortega's going to let him take him down. Ortega will allow him to go to his back.
Yeah.
He will take me down. Put me on my back, motherfucker. And I'm worried that his craftiness is like the likes that Edgar has never seen. Who has he seen that is that crafty off the bat?
It doesn't matter who he's seen. It's Edgar. It's Frankie.
Look up some of Ortega's straight jiu-jitsu.
So what you're saying is you're picking Ortega.
Look at Ortega in straight jiu-jitsu.
So you're picking Ortega, is what you're saying.
I'm on the fence.
Frankie is. I'm starting to get that little hair that just wants to. Is this good?
Yeah.
Like cherry only.
You're Michael Jackson. little curl. You're not Michael Jackson. Who does that one?
Yeah.
But his name is Elvis Presley. Dude, I'm just telling you, bro. I'm just telling you.
I've got Frankie. I don't bet against Frankie. I don't. I root against Frankie. I root against Frankie sometimes, like the BJ Penn fights.
Sure.
I was rooting against Frankie. I don't bet against Frankie. That's just you just don't do that.
Let's be honest. Penn has some phenomenal ground game, some phenomenal back game, but none like Ortega's.
Well, no.
Especially not anymore.
If we're going to talk about that real quick, BJ Penn's jiu-jitsu and MMA is absolutely overrated. His back game in jiu-jitsu, at least in MMA, is non-existent. He's never submitted anybody in MMA from his back.
Correct.
But Frankie, with his top control and his top game, his pressure top game and his ground and pound. Honestly,
this goes back to your bias.
It's Nurmagomedov style when it comes to what he does on the ground, but he's got better striking than Nurmagomedov. I mean, by far.
Yes, his boxing, his traditional boxing.
His boxing might be some of the best in the entire UFC. Just his boxing, his footwork, his head movement, everything.
Well, who's he working with?
Mark Henry, baby. So, I mean, that's what you got to do. I mean, but I have a hard time picking against Frankie Edgar in this fight. I like T-City. I like Ortega. I just think there's levels to this shit, son. And Frankie,
there are levels to this shit.
So So here's the weird thing about these levels. So I mean, if you're listening to the audio, you're not going to see me doing what I'm doing. But don't
worry, he looks like an ass.
Probably. But there's everybody, right? There's everybody.
Yeah.
Then there's Frankie Edgar. Wait, now hold on, check this out. Then there's Jose Aldo, but then also there's Jose Aldo when it comes to other people, which is so weird.
Yeah, other than
the constant is Frankie Edgar.
Sure.
That's the constant, and I think T-City's
the perennial bridesmaids. What you're saying?
And I think T-City's right there underneath him.
As an overall mixed martial artist, I'm gonna put T-City right here. And I'm gonna put Edgar right here.
Yeah.
Grappling, I'm gonna put T-City here, and every other motherfucker in the featherweight division.
I would put T-City grappling, MMA grappling jiu-jitsu above. There's Frankie. Like, he's just right there, man. Just because Frankie's grappling, I mean, he's right there. But overall MMA package, when it comes to the featherweight
Frankie's
division,
better as an overall package.
Oh, yeah.
That's for sure.
Yeah, So
why even play with T-City on the ground? Why even go to his wheelhouse? Why even
that's
like
Frankie's wheelhouse too. Because Frankie's ground and pound, his top game is absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah, but he can beat him at boxing. In my mind, if you're Frankie Edgar, don't be afraid of the ground game. Take him down and get up. Take him down, throw a couple punches, position yourself up, prove your dominance, but don't play with him.
Take him down and absolutely just dominate him in the ground and pound.
Don't play with him on the ground.
Be the man. That's where Frankie Edgar is his best. His top game ground control, ground and pound. Frankie Edgar absolutely ground and pounds the shit out of people. I don't care if you're T-City. I don't care who you are. You just beat his ass the way you know how to beat it.
I agree, but T-City scares me for Frankie because it's the perfect match made in heaven. It's the perfect match made in heaven.
There's only one person who's been a kryptonite to Frankie Edgar, and that is Jose Aldo. And that is Jose Aldo. That is Jose Aldo fighting, and that's because Jose Aldo has takedown defense better than anybody in the entire history of the UFC. So it turned into a boxing match at that, and Jose Aldo for 5 rounds, you strike with him, you're not winning. And Edgar, here's the difference. Holloway has the power that Edgar doesn't have. That's the difference. That's the standing punching power that Edgar doesn't have.
And he has the ability has a longer jab. He has the ability to switch stances and show different
He's
looks.
got the height and the reach and everything that Edgar doesn't have. Yeah. So it's a big difference. So that's why Aldo was his kryptonite. T-City does not have the striking to trouble Aldo at all.
Nope.
Not even a chance.
No. On the feet, T-City's not going to give any fits whatsoever to Frankie Edgar.
Edgar's not getting finished.
On the ground is where T-City wins the fight.
Yeah, no, I disagree because Edgar's not getting finished. Edgar's not getting finished. It's just not happening. There's 10
different ways to fight in MMA. There's only one way that T-City can win. Don't give him the option. Don't give him the option.
There is 4 constants in this world: life, death, taxes, and Frankie Edgar doesn't get finished. That's just what happens, man. It's just I'm not Frankie Edgar. Ortega's best bet to beat Frankie Edgar is submitting him or finishing him, and Frankie Edgar doesn't get finished. That's it.
What's Frankie Edgar's takedown defense? I'm just curious.
Has anybody even tried to take him down? I mean, Gray Maynard did it in their first fight.
Gray Maynard is a world-class wrestler.
Yeah, the second fight was one of the best fights I've ever seen in my life. UFC, 125, I think it was. It was
UFC, get knocked down, get up, get knocked down, get up, get knocked down, get up, knock the guy down.
It was one of the greatest fights I've ever seen because Jesus Christ, Edgar showed us his composure and recovery in that fight ridiculously.
And sadly, that was the fight that ended Gray Maynard's career.
And sadly, that was supposed to be, I believe, the co-main event. It was supposed to be main event was supposed to be Jose Aldo making his first featherweight defense over against Josh Grisby at the time. I
think so. But yeah, that was the fight that Gray Maynard, he got rocked too many times and was done for.
Yeah, so, but yeah, man, I'm not betting against Edgar, so.
Look, like I said when we introduced us talking about this fight, I'm on the fence. I'm on the fence for it.
Yeah.
I'm worried because T-City, I'm not going to call him Brian Ortega because I'm trying to prove the point here. He's triangle motherfucking city.
Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
I don't want to be in his guard. I'll be in his half guard. I'll play half guard game with that guy all fucking day long. If he puts me in guard, I'm standing up and walking away. Frankie Edgar, can he pass the half guard? There's all these ifs because when they're on the ground, the tried and true ground guy is going to be T-City when it comes to submissions jiu-jitsu.
Yeah.
The only way T-City wins is on the ground. That's it. He doesn't win on the feet. He wins on the ground. So if I'm Frankie Edgar, don't be afraid of the ground because you are one of, if not the best ground and pounders in all of MMA. The best ground and pounder, okay, Khabib, the second best in all of MMA, the best in the flyweight division, okay?
Yeah.
Don't be afraid of it, but don't jump in that pool until you have to. Piece them up on the feet. Use your in and out game. Use your angles because Frankie is a good guy at darting in and out. Do that. Take him down. Hit him with a couple. Pop back up and say, look, bitch, I own you. Don't go jump in his pool. Make him swim in yours. Boom. That's my analogy for the day.
All right. That's a good. No, it's fair, man. And on that note,
just kidding. I thought that was a good analogy. I was going to walk away.
Well, you're not dropping the mic. You're dropping the earbuds.
The earbuds. Yeah, I got.
I was gonna say, don't drop that mic. It's like a $60 mic or whatever, man. So fucking
$60 is a lot of fucking money.
It is, but I still want that Yeti.
Oh, I want that Yeti.
Sean Garmer got the Yeti, and I'm jealous.
Did he now?
Yeah, motherfucker.
Should be.
By the way, everybody, Sean Garmer, owner of W2Mnet.com. Speaking of that, Joe.
Give us our big break. What's up, dude?
Let's do it, brother. Let's get this social media going.
Social media. I've been saying it wrong for 30 episodes. Apparently, I don't know my own fucking Twitter handle. It's not J HUD. It's fucking Joe HUD. 45.
That explains why you don't have followers, right? We're going to use that. We're going to use that.
Yeah, that's the reason why. Not because I suck at social media. But it is. Please, if you hear this, just follow me so I know you listen. That'll be great. And I'll send out some fun tweets. It's Joe HUD 45, JOEHUD, the number 45 at fucking twitter.com bullshit, whatever. I got my Instagram right. That's probably why I got a couple Instagram followers, because at least I do that one right.
There you go.
That one is MMA to the Max Joe. And as always, the 2 is the numero 2. Rob, what you got?
Ooh, using the Espanol.
We have to do that.
Well, we live in California, so.
A lot of Spanish speakers. I've been learning out in the field with the guys. They're teaching me some cool words in Spanish. I don't want to repeat them on air because this is a family show.
Is it like they're teaching you like how to say "don't build a wall" or?
They're teaching me how to say "you fucking gringo." I've been doing this for 20 years. Shut the fuck up and go back in the trailer in your office where you belong. That's the gist of what they're saying, but
I like what those people are saying because I would say that to you too if I worked for you. Anyways, follow me on Twitter if you want at It's Rock Robster. As you can see at the bottom of both of our screens there for our Instagrams and Twitters. Follow me on Instagram at MMA to the Max Rob. Follow us on the show on Twitter at MMA to the Max Show and Facebook. Facebook.com/MMA to the Max podcast. As always, as my co-host says, it's the number 2, not the letters. T-O.
El número dos.
You want to get a hold of me and talk MMA? You can do it at any time you want when you go to the Facebook group MMA Freaks, or go to the newly minted group W2Mnet.com. Discussion and debate. Used to be just nothing but wrestling debate. We are opening that up to wrestling, movies, video games, MMA, sports, football, everything you want to do. Find us,
interact
as always,
with the co-host there.
That's right. You can interact with us anytime you want there. Listen to us on iHeartRadio, iTunes. Watch us on YouTube. Get us on Google Play and Spreaker. Do whatever you got to do. As always, check us out at our parent website, the place that gave us our start, W2Mnet.com. For all your sports, movies, video games, and entertainment. I like it. Very nice. I like how you're doing that, man. It's like MC Hammer Too Legit to Quit there.
W2M Net.
Yeah,
I'm trying. We got this whole new video thing. I'm trying to make it.
We're trying to make it work. We're trying to make it work. Yeah. So, like I said, by the way, like I said, man, Facebook, search up MMA Freaks. Got a lot of fighters in that group. Good discussions. Good fight discussion threads on every fight. Check it out.
If you're going to use my opinions on these types of things, just say, hey, as heard on MMA to the Max, just so everyone knows where you're getting all your valid argumental information from. This is your database. It's okay. It's like when you write a paper, your big bibliography. Just give us credit where credit's due. That's all we're asking.
Just say, I heard about you guys on MMA to the Max. That's the greatest podcast I've ever listened to or seen.
That's true. That's true.
All right. Well, on that note, I think we're done then.
I think we're done.
Anything else you got to add? We're done? We're good? We're good? All right, yeah.
We're good.
Check out all the beers we've pimped tonight. Black Boot, 29th Birthday Reserve, Belching Beavers collaboration with the Deftones, Good Morning Beautiful, and
this is a 12.2% beer, by the way. So
Jesus
if I got a little
Christ, nice.
The end,
I like
that
it.
Is why.
Yeah, that.
I'm like,
holy
I'm starting
shit.
to feel like a little bit of a buzz. What the hell? Have you guys noticed
dude.
me earlier in the show? I'm sitting here looking down. I'm like, I'm getting a little buzz.
The Good Morning Beautiful is only 5.5, and the Marshmallow is 7.1. So I'm barely hitting your fucking percentage by volume with two of them.
Twice as much volume. Why am I starting to get a touch of a buzz here? And I'm like, oh. It's 12.2. I just drank a bottle of wine. That explains it.
Jesus, good job, dude. Congratulations. I'm going to have to check that out now. Wow.
Yeah, I think I've got a favorite porter at this point.
Yeah, that's
29 a year.
Too bad it looks like it's a special release. Anyways, for my co-host, Joseph Hudson, Riverside Joe, I am your host, Robert Taylor. This has been MMA Max. We will see you once again next week. Take care.
See ya.
The previous podcast has been an original W2Mnet.com production. For more great content like this, go to W2Mnet.com for the worlds of wrestling, video games, entertainment, and sports.